resource manager high availability. So with this, there is no problem of SPOF. What is SPOF? There is no problem of SPOF in yarn, single point of failure. With what? Resource manager high availability, there is no single point of failure. That is the advantage we have with this yarn. Okay, yarn provides, what does it provides? It provides an environment for distributed computation, and also it what is the underlying architecture? The underlying architecture of yarn is master slave architecture. These points you have to remember now. Okay, so I have a Spark application. Now, what environment is required for launching or for submitting a Spark application is just now we have discussed. Spark supports any other environment other than yarn for running its jobs. Yes, it supports two more environments to run its jobs, to process the data by using Spark other than yarn. So we have one more, that is called as standalone cluster. And what about yarn? Yarn is also a cluster. And we have one more, that is called as Mesos cluster. So currently Spark supports the execution of its jobs in three clusters. Either you can run a Spark job in yarn cluster, or you can run a Spark application or job in standalone cluster or in Mesos cluster. We can choose any one of these. So all these are, the underlying architecture of all these clusters is master slave architecture only. The underlying architecture of all these clusters is master slave architecture. Okay, so how to create a yarn cluster? Yarn cluster will be created automatically when we create a Hadoop cluster. Okay, when we install Hadoop, automatically yarn comes with it. So no extra setup infrastructure is required to create a cluster to run the Spark jobs. So if you go with yarn, this is the advantage we have. Directly when we have Hadoop cluster, by default yarn will be there. So we can use the same existing Hadoop cluster or the underlying yarn cluster for running the Spark applications. Let us say we do not have Hadoop. Can't we run Spark application? Yes, we can run, either by using standalone cluster or by using Mesos cluster. Okay, so these applications, these clusters we have to set up. If you have already standalone cluster, we can run Spark application. If not, we have to create a cluster. If we can run Spark application directly on Mesos cluster, if it is already available, otherwise we have to create it. So where it is yarn cluster also, if it is not available, we have to create. But if already Hadoop is there, then no need of creating separate cluster for running this Spark application. This is what we have to confirm here. Okay, now I will try to show you how yarn is running in our machines. Why? Because Hadoop is already installed in Cloudera VMware. Now I will try to show you how to create a standalone cluster and how to submit a Spark application to it. And I will show you this Mesos cluster maybe later, because I need to install it. It takes some time. It takes some hours of time, some 2 to 3 hours to install Mesos. So I will show you maybe in the coming up classes. But now I will try to show you yarn cluster, standalone cluster, and how to deploy, how to run a Spark application in these two clusters. I will try to show you. Okay, na sir? Right. Next, final conclusion I can make is Spark application can be submitted to a cluster. So what type of cluster? Either yarn cluster or Mesos cluster or standalone cluster. In case if you say that I don't have any cluster in my machine, even I don't have Hadoop, can I use Spark for learning? I do not want to go with cluster. I just want to learn Spark. I don't have yarn, I don't have Mesos, I don't have any clusters. Can I work with Spark? Yes, still you can work with Spark in the local mode. If you do not have a cluster, still no problem. If you just want to learn Spark in a single machine, you can work in local mode. So you can run Spark application in local mode or in the cluster mode. In the cluster mode, we have it supports three different clusters. You can choose any one cluster that you want to. And in local mode, it is simply local. It runs only in machine. So what is required is we require Java installation. That's it. Java installation is mandatory, prerequisite for running a Spark application. That's it in local mode. Nothing else is required. Okay. Now I will try to show you both how to start in local mode and how to start in this, cluster mode. Both I will try to show you. Okay. Is it clear? Any questions till now in this discussion? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to this VMware. Now let me show you here. So sudo jps will list all the processes that are running here. So Hadoop will be already starting in this. So we can observe node manager and resource manager process here. Okay, and name node, data node, and secondary name node. All the processor, and we are interested in only Hadoop. That's why we are looking only for Hadoop process here. Now, Spark hyphen shell in local. In local mode, I can start like this: master local. Now it has to start. Just try to note down some points, or wherever you feel they are important. Just try to note down some points. So you can observe here, the master is local. This means that this Spark application is launched or is submitted in local. Okay. Now, whether Spark has started successfully or not, I'm opening one more terminal. Type here sudo jps. Can you see the first process here, Spark submit? This is the name of the process that will start when we launch a Spark application. When we submit a Spark application, this is the name of the process, Spark submit. So try to verify that. Okay. Now, this is in starting of the Spark application in local mode. What is the command? Spark hyphen shell hyphen master local. This is the parameter. There is no configuration parameters. There are a hell number of configuration parameters are there, but I am trying to show you only one configuration parameter now. In the coming up classes, I will show you what are the different parameters we can use for a Spark application. Okay, na sir? Right. Before coming out, I have to stop the Spark context sc.stop. We'll discuss what is this Spark context, everything later. Okay. Now, I would like to start submit this Spark application to Yarn cluster. How do we do it? For that, before we have to see that whether Spark cluster is running or not. Whether Spark cluster is ready or not. How do we see that? So here we see the list of process here by tapping sudo jps here. We can see resource manager. Do we have resource manager here? Yes, resource manager is there here, and we have node manager. Yes, we have node manager itself under that. Okay, resource manager and node manager. So one instance of resource manager and one instance of node manager is running here. So we can easily say that a single node cluster is running here. Now we shall try to submit this application, Spark application, to this Yarn cluster. How do we do it? Okay, the only thing is we can write it Spark hyphen shell hyphen master. Okay, so instead of local, we have to type here Yarn. So we are submitting this Spark application to Yarn cluster. That's it, very simple. Just let me open the browser meanwhile. So I'm opening this resource manager, Yarn resource manager. So the application has started successfully. Now you can observe, sir, this is the Yarn cluster, and in this Spark application is launched. Okay, now I will try to show you how to create a standalone cluster and how to submit Spark application to it. It's very easy. Okay, before that we should know where all these Spark Hadoop, Flume, Spark, where all these are installed in the Cloudera environment, where they will be. Okay, see that all these applications will be installed. They will have their files in the root folder userlib. This is the location pwd. I'm showing pwd shows the present working directory. So here we have in root directory user, and in that we have a directory called as lib. Here we have the list of all the, you can see I'm typing ls here. So you can see Hadoop here. You can see Spark, Python, Pig, Hive, everything. That means all the components of big data environment in cloud environment will have all those files in this path, that is user lib path, remember. Okay, now so search for Spark. Yes, Spark is here. Now move to Spark. How to move to Spark? CD Spark and type ls. In Spark we have these files: assembly, bin, cloudera, conf, all the files we have here in this case. Now go to sbin. There is a folder sbin, so move to that sbin. Okay, and type ls. So with this, what I am trying to show is I am trying to start a standalone cluster. Okay, so how to do that? This is the approach. So first thing, I am going to user lib directory. This is where all the components are installed by the Cloudera. Okay, and in that I am entering into Spark, and in that Spark I am entering into sbin. In sbin we have all the scripts. Okay, start slave, start slaves, start master, Mesos dispatcher, sh. So there are many scripts are there. So to create a standalone cluster, we need to go with /start hyphen master.sh. Why? Because we need to start the master process first. Okay, and after that, so we have started the master process. Whether it has started successfully or not, how to verify that? Go to one more terminal, type here sudo jps. Can you see a process called as master here below this resource manager? Yes, master is there. This is the process name that is created when we create a standalone master. Okay, and then go to web browser. In web browser, how to see the standalone cluster manager master? That by typing here localhost colon 18080. This is the standalone cluster environment. And what is this environment? This environment is yarn cluster environment, and this environment is standalone cluster environment. Okay, na sir? Right. So here both master process running and slave process running in yarn. But here we have started only the master process. We did not start slave process. How to start slave process? Just observe now. I will show you now. So master process started successfully. Now we are starting slave process. Start hyphen slave dot sh. Okay, sudo stands for super user. We have to do all these. We have to execute all these commands as a super user. Then only they will work. Otherwise, they throw an error that you have to be a root user to start these processes. Okay, sudo dot slash start hyphen slave dot sh. After this, we have to type here the URL of the master. This is the URL of the master. Just copy the URL of this master, Control C, and paste it here. Sudo slave start slave dot sh and master URL we have to pass here. Now a worker will be started. We call it a slave or worker actually. Okay. Now go to browser and refresh this page. Okay, can you see the worker here? A worker is created. This is the address generated for the worker, and the status is alive. Core 2 cores and memory is 8.5 GB. This is a standalone cluster. And what is this cluster? This is a yarn cluster. Okay, na sir?